In the previous episode, we made this little bakery over here, which combines items into blaze cake bases that we then turn into blaze cakes. But currently, we have no use for the blaze cakes, and that's why in this week's episode, we're going to be clearing out a whole bunch of land behind me and building a brand new power plant. Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to finally add a new addition to the power grid, which will be a normal steam boiler but with blaze cakes, unlocking, I don't want to say unlimited, but unlimited power. But before we can do any of that, we have quite a lot of things we need to get ready and to get in place. And the first thing will be clearing out this area, because this is quite like a steep area, and I almost want this new power station to cut into the landscape, and well, I want it to be a bit elevated, maybe the same height as that even, but still to have a part beneath it, almost like in my season 1 where we have the boilers sitting on top of a water reservoir, exactly that same thing. So what I think I need to do first is grab myself an empty backpack and mark out what we're going to do here so we can remove a bunch of this here mountain hill terrain. Yeah, that. Okay, so I've gone ahead and marked out an area. You'll notice I went a bit behind this building as well because we need to somehow cover up all of this. But I think we should take all of this from this corner to this corner and all the way to the front over here and just dig it down all the way to this level, maybe even one lower, so we can replace the floor and everything. And I know the funny part will be that the cannon will then replace some of the landscape, because I do think that I'm going to build on the existing landscape. I'm not going to terraform, but to give myself a better idea of what we have to work with, I'm just going to go ahead and rip out all of this. So it might not be a full montage, but let's quickly go ahead with a little speedy mine session. And just like that, we've managed to take out, well, quite a big chunk from this area, and I think it's ready for a build. But the first thing we need to do is I just want to quickly make a little staircase up here, because this little system or this little timer needs to move, because I'm scared if it's over here, it's going to be in the way. So what I'm thinking is we just move it one to the back, because then this gives us a little limit to where we can go with this build, and it just makes sure we're safe. That's the big thing. So now we need to figure out, so that is red, so red, and that's blue. So okay, so one mutton and one a chicken, and the other one will be a mutton at the bottom and a gantry there. And now if we were to click these, they should be exactly the same. So this one is that one and this one is that one, so we can remove those two, and then we can rip out these blocks over here, and then we can just make this maybe square, I guess. Do we have more? Well, we should have more. Yeah, we do. So we can just do this, and that should be it. This thing should still work, and now we can go ahead and maybe get some form of building in this area. So like mentioned, I want to add the floor over here. I want to add levels to it, so we'll have a staircase going up, so we bring it up to that level. Then we'll have, I think, a little bit of a courtyard over here with a big building over here, and then power tanks or steam engines dropping down past that level into another water pit type thing that we're going to use for cooling the systems. Make believe cooling the systems. So with that idea in mind, I think I need to spend some time in a creative world, and then once I have something, we can look at gathering resources and getting this thing built. Some time has passed, and I'm just back from a little session in the creative world, and what did I do? Well, I've got a build now. I've got a build, and in my hand I hold the list. And you can see it's quite a hefty list with quite a bunch of materials that we need to gather before we can build this new power plant. And the crazy thing is, those materials are everything we're going to need to build the shell, not even the actual steam engine. So we need to get gathering. So I'm going to put down my schematic cannon backpack. I'm going to fill it with all the blocks, and then I'll bring you guys back once we have everything collected. An entire 43 minutes later, and we've got all the resources we need to build this little power station. So if we run up over here, I've got my little schematic cannon set up in this area. You can see we've got a bunch of items in this backpack over here, and here's our checklist. We've got everything excluding the mega torch because we don't need it, but that's a total of 11 pages. So what does this mean? Well, it means it's time for you to grab yourself a drink and a snack, sit back and relax as we roll a little build montage. Okay, so it's done and you've seen it at the end of the time lapse, but I want us to just walk around the corner and just see it together. And I love this build. I think it looks so cool. You never totally see the full, I want to see building as it is, but every time you see a section of it, you see something unique and you see something that makes it makes it look really amazing. And I know it's still very open, so I've got something planned for this area over here with another building going up in here. It might actually be split into two buildings with entrances on the side of here, and then also this area will have some form of little lean-to shack as well, so we will be making this more cramped as well. But first of all, if we go up here, this is just so we can run up and we can reach this side where we can see, well, we can basically not see but walk to the other side of the building, and all of this will get fixed. I decided to rather just rip it out and we can just fill in and do some landscaping afterwards or terraforming afterwards. But then this way, if we run up here, we reach this main platform where we have some coal, and we can even maybe add some more things to this area. But if we go on into this space, you'll see this area, and this area, well, this area is where we will have our steam engines, and I made room for a total of 3 of those engines. So we'll have 1, 2, 3 on the side over here. We'll have them connected to our steam engines pointing out this way with our reservoir at the bottom. So the bottom we will fill with water. We'll have our blaze burners down there, and we'll have like mechanical arms feeding blaze cakes into these burners that will then generate power. And the idea is for us to actually build all of them, all three of them, but only connect 1. And as we need power, we can always just expand. And then right over here, we've just got another little platform so you can see it from the top. And that's just the detailing. So quite a nice little build. I do notice that these need to be updated. They actually need to do that. So we can do that real quick. Okay, that one was done. Those two were done. And then we can head on through here. And this brings us up to the top where we've got some radiator fans. We've got a little bit of a storage container. And this is just a view from up here. So this is the power station. And what we need to do now, well, we need to start building some of the steam engines. Okay, so I've got the items here, and I think we should start by adding our first little boiler, and we're going to do it right in this area. So on this level, we will have our blaze burners, and then on top of our blaze burners, we'll go ahead and add our tanks to create our first boiler. And before we go all the way to the top, maybe we should go ahead and add all the blaze burners. So we'll have a row over there, and then we'll have a row over there, and then on top of these we will have all our tanks. And I honestly just hope I have enough tanks, because they're quite expensive to make, but that's not a point. We can make some more if we have to. Oh, what happened there? That's weird. Okay, but anyway, it continued. We've got the first one in, and now we can go ahead and place the second one. And okay, let's go ahead and do that. We've got a second full tank, and now the third one will be, yep, we will be able to go around. And do we have enough tanks? We do. And that's it. So now that we have the tanks in, we need 2 more items in this area. First things first, we're going to need water to fill these boilers to create the steam for the engines. But the second part will be the blaze cakes. And with this size boiler, we're going to need 3 pumps per boiler. And it's already at the back here, so I don't really want to take the pipes through the back. And I do think it could look pretty interesting if we have the pipes running up from here all the way to the top, and then we pump into the engine, the steam engine from, well, the boiler from the front. That way we hide these little blaze burners, which means we can go ahead and add our little, I want to say, mechanical arms over here maybe. So we'll have mechanical arm over here, and we'll also have the pumps over here. So with the mechanical arm over here and the pumps over here, they're going to use the same power source to power them, which I don't know if it's a good idea, because we want to do a backup power source for the pumps to ensure that we can jumpstart the system. I do also think we won't run out of power, but maybe we should rather put our mechanical arms over here. Yeah, the mechanical arms can go over there, and then we can put our little depots, say, over there. So now we have our mechanical arm taking an item and feeding into each of these little blaze burners. But now again, now we're going to have to think about powering this. So we're going to have an additional power source. Okay, you know what? I'm going to change it. We're going to keep that there, but we are going to make use of the same source. So we're just going to do all of that again, like so. We'll have our little mechanical arm over there, and then let's just steal this one for now, because now we're going to do this. We're going to place down 3 pumps, and then we're going to do pipes. And I do want to do the pipes in like a staggered position. Okay, that's doing that because we can feed lava directly into that. So we're going to do one like that, and then we're going to bring this down, and then now we just need to, how am I going to do this? Okay, there we go. That like so, and then we're going to do the last one like so. And will we be able to reach? Yeah, we will, like so. I do like that. I do think if we undo those, it's going to change all of them. Okay, cool. But I think that's fine. I think that looks pretty cool. I would like if it wasn't glass, but I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. But now we can rip out these, and then we can go ahead and add one back over here, because I do want this one to stand on something. Right over here, we're going to rip this out, and we're going to place ourselves a draw slave. We're going to do a little brass funnel with a blaze cake filter, and we're going to set that to exactly 1. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it. This is the entire system down here in place, and the only thing we need to do now is actually get the physical steam engines in. And I do think it is 18 per, which will be the maximum we can put on here to allow for it to run at maximum power. Let's just jump down here and just make sure. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this in the way? Okay, let's grab a bunch more of these blocks because they're quick and easy to break. And let's just do, that's not what I wanted to do, but that can work as well. And let's just go up and see. So if we do 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, we're going to have to change this a little bit. But that's not a problem. Let's rip out that and do that. So now I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's perfect. That's perfect. And honestly, I don't hate that design. So now we've got everything in. Because now all of this will just get connected with shafts to the main power line. And from the main power line, it will just run into the general city. And I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll run it to the back, because if we jump into free cam, we've got this big gap at the back, and I think we should turn this into some form of control center maybe as well, or not control center, just a place where we have everything get together. So we can go through here, we reach this little place, and this is where we can turn it off and bring it all together and stuff like that. And that's why I'm opting to do this one first, because this one will then just feed into it, and once we need more, we can power this one or get this one all set up and let it power in, or let it go into this one, and that way we'll just continuously feed into the system. But what I think I need to do now is I'm quickly going to get these set up and everything. I'm going to do most of it. I'm not going to add the funnel on the chute for the blaze cakes, but I will add the arm, mechanical arm, the pumps, and all of those type of things, and I will give them power maybe. I will see, but I'm going to do all of that, and I'm also going to connect the storage drawers, and then I'll bring you guys back once it's done. Okay, so I think everything's in place. We've got all of these systems connected. I did not add the steam engines, just mainly because I ran out of those, but I will see to getting them in ASAP. But then also we tapped into the power just beyond this wall, ran it along the floor, and we've got our first little shaft over here, which we can then connect with a cog, and that will automatically start this boiler. And then once we need the next one, we can just place another cog in between these two, and so it will continue. The power we also tapped into is the power that we bring all the way from the lower level, because I did upgrade this power plant as well. It used to only have 6 engines on it. It's got 9 on it now, so it should produce a lot more, because now it will give us a full 147 stress units and not just the 6x16 that we used to get. So we should be fine for power in this area, but before we can do that, we just need to close up some final little holes, and we need to flood this area. Yep, that's it. We need to flood this entire area so that we have water for the boilers to get their water source filled up. So I'm gonna go around and do this real quick, and then we can place down this cog and get this, well, this steam engine going, I guess. And it's all flooded, and if we place this down, we have water running into the system. We do not have blaze cakes coming through. Oh, did I remove the trim accidentally? I might have removed one of the trims. So if I were to do maybe this, I just want to quickly do something like this so we can just remove all of these blocks, because I do believe it's one of these ones over here. Frame trim. And that one's just basalt. Do we have another frame trim here somewhere? There we go, frame trim. So if we do this, there we go. Okay, so that's now running, and now we can take all of these out, and this should then, yeah, there we go. We just got full steam, which means we've got a fully functioning to the max boiler. Can we see it from down here? Yeah, look at that. Boiler status max, 294,000 stress units. We should be fine. we should be fine for the next few contraptions. Well, not even a few, I think for quite a ton. So that is pretty good news. And now all that's left to do is we're going to have to put down shafts in this area. And then from here, we're going to connect it all the way to the top or the bottom. Maybe the bottom. Maybe the bottom, we'll have it go right in to this wall over here, where we can connect it all together. And then this one we'll rip out and replace these with some industrial iron chain drives. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. So let's quickly get that in place. So we're going to do that. We're going to add our industrial... Oh. I was all ready to jump there. We're going to add our little industrial iron chain drives like so. And now we can just go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. And if we just go down like to here and just do the last one, 3. That should be it. That's a fully functioning power system. Oh, we won't be able to do a door over here, that's for certain, because that's way too close. We might just connect it at the top, but I think for now, let's just do this real quick, just so we can see what the power generation is. And if we were to grab, this is the speedometer. Do we have another one, the other one? I can't see it that quick, but I think we just do this and stressometer. Look at that, 294,912 stress units at our fingertips. And again, I'm just going to mention that's only a single steam engine going. That's not even all 3 of them. So I do think we're sorted. We're sorted for power, and we don't have to worry for the foreseeable future. I'm just going to change it so it goes out over there. I'll rip all of that out. I will add the engines on these, and we can just connect them whenever we're ready. But I would say this is a great success. What do you think? Do you think we've got enough power for a little bit? Remember, we still need to power a bunch of farms on this level and everything on the upper city. So I think this build's done. We've gone ahead and added the landscaping underneath all of this, fixed the little edges over here so it's all filled up. And then I also went ahead and added a little service door right here at the back that allows us to get in there. But then also if we run up here and we do go up this little ladder all the way to the back corner, you'll see that we do have this little door which goes into this room. And this room I added a window. You'll never see the skylight, but I did like the idea that you can see all these little create components. So I might just change out this, make it look a bit more like a cave, or add a little building, but that's going to be a future project. And also this does not have a roof yet, because I'm not sure if I want to maybe extend this building up towards the ceiling or just cap it off. But over here you can see we've got the power flowing in from this system, and we also went ahead and connected it to this system over here. So this is the power that comes from the windmill. It runs in, and it also runs into this system over here. So if we look at it now, you'll see that we currently have 311,000 stress units, and we've only used 7%. So that's calculating what you can see there. It's calculating 2 different sources. It's got the total amount, which is this system, the steam system combined with the windmill system, and then that's the gray amount. So we've got a lot of power, so much so that we actually sped up the Blaze Cake Bakery to a total of 200 and what is that, 260 some odd RPM. So you can see it's going really, really fast. But yeah, that is this building, and I have to say I really do like the design. I think my favorite part has to be all these little, I almost want to say sloped angles and stuff, these over here, which I don't know. I do not know how I'm going to play vanilla Minecraft again if I don't have the copycat panels, but we'll get there. We'll reach that point. But that's building for you. That's what we have, and now we're ready to build some really big farms, or even more farms in this area and all throughout the city, which I'm pretty happy about. So yeah, that is it for this build, and Well, that is it for this episode. I am not going to do a little population update because I'm kind of running low on time. So we will do that in the next video, or maybe just as a little short through somewhere in this week. But if you did enjoy this episode and you do like the building, then do let me know down in comment what is your favorite part. And also, if you would like to see a certain farm, what would that be? And then also remember to smash that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet, and then I'll catch you all in the next episode. Bye for now.